Hello and welcome back, my Royal Rogues. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue, and tonight we have the disturbing details of how David and Victoria Beckham discovered the true character of the once lovely Duchess of Sausages the hard way. But first, we have an image inspired by the suggestion of Yvonne R85 on Twitter. I said that I wanted King Charles walking stick, but with a grain jade finish. But I was worried about looking like a pimp in that case, so she suggested that I wore Meghan's signature yacht hat with Harry's red feather and I would be ready to rule these streets. But some tried to correct me, saying that the red feather is not Prince Harry's, but instead we are talking about Prince Anne's red feather. But I beg to differ. You would agree with me that the red feather and Harry's paths have crossed for a reason, and now this item belongs to him. And in that regard, I'm pleased to announce the 2023 official portraits of the Duke and Duchess of Sausages, generated by yours truly. But a disclaimer, I'm not pretending to take Miss and Harryman's job. There's no Photoshop here for starters, just pure AI with Midjourney. What do you think? Maybe Harry can hide behind the red feather the next time he speaks to David Beckham, if they get to share the same room at any point of their lives. The Sun has published a brutal description of events by Tom Bowers' pen about the time Harry snubbed David and Victoria Beckham while in Australia for the Invictus Games. Now, I don't know if the Beckhams flew in a private jet or commercial or how did they get to Australia in the first place, but the thing is that after flying for 22 hours from London to Sydney at Harry's request, Bex was puzzled why Gingerbread had not met him. And the reason why David was there is that he had played a prominent role, bringing the 2012 Olympics to Britain, so it was natural that since Harry asked him for help with the Invictus Games, he was happy to help. After all, and at least in enough photos, we know that Bex has a nice relationship with the royals, including nice pictures with William, by the way. But perhaps, in my humble opinion, one of the more distinct events that showcase David's love for the royal family was his gesture of lining up at 2 a.m. to pay his respects for the late Queen Elizabeth, just like any other regular citizen. So, as I'm telling you, I've always consider Beckham like a man of honor. So again, it's easy to understand why he immediately agreed to Harry's request to help with the Invictus Games. But as Tom Bauer writes, having flown halfway around the world, he was perplexed why officials, after he arrived at a sporting venue, were playing a dance to keep him happy, but away from Harold. So what was going on? Well, it was just plain old jealousy. The reason for the distance was methane. She wanted no competition in the media from David, and especially not from his wife, Victoria, which, in my opinion, is a very silly decision. Or shall I say a stupid decision, in fact. Or, okay, you're afraid of someone stealing the spotlight from you. That's classic insecurity from a narcissist who wants all eyes on her. But this is extremely short-sighted, because you need to think that David and Victoria Beckham are a power couple. They have impeccable reputation and have kept their corresponding star power for a long time. It would have made a lot of sense to combine the popularity status of both couples at the time, because let's face it, this was 2018 and Harry and Meghan were as hot a topic as they could be. Watching them all together would have had a similar effect than watching the never materialized Fab Four at the Royal Foundation meeting. Well, at this point, it was rather early to judge. Maybe there were some body language clues here and there that revealed something was not quite right, but this was something promising to watch. If we had the Beckhams and the Harkles at the same time, that would have been really exciting for fans of both sides. But you know that narcissists do not act by logic, not even when certain actions benefit them being in their so-loved spotlight. It's strange, right? You want attention, you invite some of the most famous couple in the world to hang out with you, and then you snub them instead of taking advantage of that shared attention. As I said, the word is stupid. But things got really weird from there. Because according to Bauer, Meghan shouted at her staff and allegedly threw a cup of tea into the air. And these quotes are brutal. In her bad mood, it seems she was not prepared to tolerate anything flattering regarding the Beckhams and the games to appear in the media. But I think the real reason lies in this picture. Meghan in 2018 seems to have more hair extensions than Chewbacca doing a Wella ad. So she absolutely needed all the cameras on herself. That's understandable. But the problem is that Meghan was being so ungrateful with the Beckhams because, unknown to the public, when she privately returned to Los Angeles before her marriage, she stayed in the Beckham's 6-bedroom luxurious house in Beverly Hills. Her excuse? She wanted to avoid the paparazzi. Yeah, right. If there was any suspicion that Meghan was taking advantage of her new status, the Beckhams pushed their gripe aside. To build their relationship, Victoria had also given Meghan makeup advice soon after she moved into Kensington Palace, but this was all leaked to the Sun as well. And Meghan became furious and started pointing her finger, but David hadn't leaked the info. Victoria hadn't leaked the info as well. I wonder who could it be who leaked the info to the press, right? But then, classic Meghan. She wanted a freebie. Meghan wanted Victoria to supply free clothes and accessories from her expensive range. But such requests were against the palace rules, of course, because they end up becoming favors or compromises that trigger conflict of interest, and it's only downhill from there. Now, you need to listen to this because this is better than any meme that I can come up with. In the run up to Christmas 2018, she agreed to lend Meghan a navy blue coat. The Duchess wore it on Christmas Day on the walk with the royal family to church at Sandringham in Norfolk. To Victoria's dismay, it had no effect on sales. So this is the same case like those cheap influencers from Instagram or TikTok who have hundreds of thousands of followers, and many of them are just fake. Inflated numbers that only appeal to inflated egos. Sounds familiar? And by the way, speaking of cheap influencers, a strange account has appeared on Instagram with the handle Meghan, as in just Meghan, and it has quickly gained 50,000 followers without sharing anything. Could this be our Duchess of Sausages that is finally coming back to social media? Because Instagram would be ideal for her. I cannot imagine the ratio on Twitter or the comments here on YouTube. Instagram is much more merciful in that regard. I will stay tuned. My Royal Rogues, I'm thankful that in the past 30 days, more than 1 million Rogues have enjoyed my videos, which I have a lot of fun making, but only a fraction of that million has subscribed. So what are you waiting for? All you need to do to support my channel is to hit the like and subscribe buttons, and it's free. And remember, much love and bliss.